Hello, welcome to this playthrough of Trench Club or Trench Club Legacy solo or co-op mode. The solo mode works pretty much the same way in Trench Club and Trench Club Legacy, and the solo mode also works similarly to the co-op mode. In co-op you would just share your units and one player would control half of your units and the other player would control the other half. We recommend to switch the color for these units. So instead of these ones, just take the units of your allied player. All right, I've decided to play with the left-hand side of the board. That is the board with the numbers, start numbers 1 to 6. And therefore I've only set up the 4s here on the left-hand side. So that's a total of 7 4s we are battling for today. I will play the British player and will battle the Austrian player played by the Automa. Alright, let's get started with the setup. So for the setup I will play in easy mode for a quick game. So that means the enemy player would start with their original 10 units, so let me put those here. If I would play in standard difficulty, I would add an extra armored car there. I would play the British player with my original 11 units. For the start setup, I will distribute the gray tokens here upside down, so that I don't see who has which number. And I will distribute 3 to each player. Again, I don't know which ones they are. Then I will start adding my units here. So I'll definitely add an infantry unit. Oh, sorry, that's the Automa player. That's me. I will definitely use an infantry, a foot soldier for each token, so I can conquer 4s easily. Then I'll distribute my tanks here, add artillery to the tanks, maybe some anti-aircraft in a plane here, and that one will be my fast units with an armored car and cavalry, a mounted infantry. Now we are rolling dice for who starts. So rolling 2 dice, the higher number starts. So that's me, I've got a 1 and the Automa has a 7, so they're gonna start. The way they're distributing their units now is they turn around the start marker, it's start marker number 4. And to determine which units they put there, you take all from the punch board, you take the enemy players' chips, you put them in an opaque cup and you just draw 4 at random. So I'm drawing these 4 now. Please note that they have a front side and a back side. The front side is slightly round, the back side is kind of with a sharper corner, so always use the same side, otherwise units will duplicate. Alright, so the Automa places these units on start number 4. The 4 is here. So I just put the first unit I draw, that is that one, the heavy mortar in the middle. Then the second unit I drew the transport truck on the field, on the hex on top of it. Next unit would be the howitzer clockwise around it, and then the anti-tank gunners again clockwise around it. Then I would turn around one of mine. As a human player I can choose which one I turn around. I'll start with a big army here, so that's the number 6, which is located on the board down here. I can choose how to distribute my units. I'll put 1 in the middle, I'll put 1 here so it can enter the fort pretty quickly. Then the heavy mortar here, transport truck here, and I put the plane here. Then next one from the Automa player, that will be the number 3. Again, I draw 4 tokens from the cup. First one is the infantry, anti-aircraft, tank, and then the mounted infantry. So I will start again with placing the infantry unit on the number 3. Number 3 is here. Infantry goes in the middle. Next one is anti-aircraft, goes on the top. Next one, tank, clockwise, and then the mounted infantry. It's my turn again. I'm placing these guys here. That's number 1. Number 1 is all the way up here. So I'll place 1 in the middle, 1 to the sides here. Just as I want. I just need to put 1 in the middle and fill the circles. Then the automa has number 5. I pull the remaining tokens. It's a 3 in this case, because I'm playing on easy difficulty. So that will be the heavy infantry placed on number 5. Number 5 is here. Place it in the middle. Then the airplane goes on top, and then clockwise the armored car. Then I set up my last unit. That's number 2. Let me find that on the board. That's up here. So 1 unit in the middle and then 1 adjacent to it. So I'll put my mounted infantry here. That's it for the setup. You can clean that up. You don't need those anymore in the game. So let me put those aside. And then the game can start. I will determine now who takes the first turn. Again, we are rolling a dice. Higher number starts. So automa has a 3, I have a 6, so I take the first round. And don't forget, we will play in turns, and we will use the 1, 2, 2, 3 rule, which means the first player, in my case that's me, I will only move 1 of my armies, then the automa will move 2 of their armies, then it's my turn again, I can move 2 of my armies, then the automa can move all of them, and then each turn everyone can move all of them. That rule is introduced so that the starting player doesn't get too much of an advantage. Alright, we can get started. I will start and I will move my first unit. I will start probably up here with those ones because I don't want the automa to block the bridge, so I want to escape from this little island here. So I'll go with my mounted infantry, 1/2, 1.5, 1, 1.5, 2. Remember that's I can move with my last 0.5 movement points to a meadow. And that is adjacent to an entrance, so I can enter and conquer the fort next turn. Then I will load the heavy mortar into the transport truck. Transport truck can... Oh, wait a second, I'll do the tank first. That's 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. So that will move here to block the bridge. I'll move the plane next to, again, not to block the bridge. I will probably move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just to secure that. Then I'll load the mortar in here, move 1/2, 1, 1.5, and unload the heavy mortar here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it has this unit in range and can shoot. I'll do that right away. So following the rule, I can only move 1 of my armies. So my movement turn of all my armies is done, and now I can attack. I will attack with the heavy mortar that has range 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This anti-tank gunners. Let me just get a cup and clean those start markers up. We won't need them anymore. I'll take my 12 dice because I don't have any damage yet and chuck the dice. The heavy mortar hits at, let me turn that around so I have the English language there. Heavy mortar has 3 hits with every dice showing a 3 or less. So that's 1, 2, 2 hits. 2 hits on the anti-tank gunners would give them 1 damage. So I'll give the anti-tank gunners 1 damage and my own unit 1 experience. Alright, so next is the automa, and they can move 2 of their armies now. Alright, so following the rule, the automa can move 2 of their armies now. That will be the first 2 armies they placed. So in this case, this army and this army. Starting with that one, I think that was the first one they placed. Foot soldiers move first, and in the sequence infantry, mounted infantry, heavy infantry, and then all others. In this case, I have 1 foot soldier, that is the anti-tank gunners. It will follow the following priorities: conquer a fort, that's not possible. Second, move to a hex adjacent to a neutral or enemy fort entrance. That is possible, so it will choose the closest one. That will be 1/2, so it will move to the fort entrance. If you don't know where to place the unit, if it's here or if it's there or if it's there, just look at the rules priority. So they will move to a hex where they can enter the fort. Then the furthest away from the closest enemy unit, that's the same distance here. And then closest to the fort entrance, which is here. All right, then I'll move the remaining units. Next is the close combat units. From those ones, I don't have a close combat unit. And then the long range units. That will be the lowest range by lowest range. So the howitzer would move first, and then the heavy mortar. And it would move following the sequence within range to attack an enemy, and with the following priority. First, if it can, towards an enemy it can destroy. That doesn't work, they're all not damaged. Then secondly, attacking foot soldiers adjacent to a neutral or your fort. That would be that one. So let's see if we can reach this guy. And they would always stay the furthest away they can. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So from that field, from that hex, you could reach this guy. So that would be the movement priority. It would move 1 forward and attack that foot soldier because it's close to the fort entrance. In combat, unlike the human player, the automa doesn't roll dice, so it would always hit with an exact value. If the unit has 0 to 2 damage, which this one has, it has no damage, then it would hit according to its attack value. So the attack value of the heavy mortar would be 3 because it has no experience yet. So it would deal 3 damage to the heavy infantry. With 3 hits, the heavy infantry would suffer 2 damage. So I'll give the heavy mortar 1 experience and the infantry 2 damage. Then next unit would be the howitzer. It's the same rules. It's a long range unit as well. So it would move 1 unit down and would hit the heavy infantry as well because it's adjacent to the fort entrance. It has an attack value of 3 as well, would deal 3 hits, and the heavy infantry would again suffer 2 damage. So 2 damage, 2 more damage for the heavy infantry. And 1 experience for the howitzer. I just noticed I've accidentally placed the truck. If you read the rules here, the automa will always start without a transport truck. So let me just remove that one. Cool. Next units, next army is those ones. Again, I would start with the foot soldiers in the sequence of infantry, then the mounted infantry, and the first priority would be to conquer a fort. That's not possible, and then move to a hex adjacent to the fort entrance. So first one would be the infantry, so it would move to the closest fort entrance, and that's always in terms of movement points. So this one takes 1 movement point, this one takes 1.5, so it would move here first. 1/2, 1. And then it cannot attack, so next unit would be the mounted infantry, same thing. and here is already an infantry, one of my foot soldiers there. This is here in the rules, so it would just go to the next fort, which is here. 1, 2. So 1/2, 1, 1.5, and it would be there. Then all foot soldiers have moved, so now they're close combat units, so that would be the tank. It would move towards an enemy it can destroy. There is no enemy close by that it can destroy. Next one would be an enemy that cannot shoot back, so similar like an artillery unit. I don't see one either. Then the enemy with the lowest attack value. Let's see which ones it can actually reach. Maybe it's none at all. Because it cannot attack airplanes, and that is probably too far. Yeah, so it cannot attack one, so it would move as closely to the highest priority target. And the highest priority target would be per table above the unit that cannot shoot back, and the closest unit that cannot shoot back would actually be one of those two guys. So the tank would move 1/2, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, and would move towards these guys. All right, then it's the humans player's turn again. So mine, and per the rule, I can move the remaining 2 of my armies. I'll start with a bigger one. So I'll start engaging the tank with mine 1, 2. Sorry. So that will be 1/2, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. Engage that one. Then the artillery would follow. That will be 1/2, 1, 1.5, 2 to shoot at this guy. Then I'll try to reach the airplane, which is probably hard. 1, 2, 3, 4. I cannot really reach that one. Yeah, let's give it a try. So 1/2, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 4, moving to this forest. I don't reach the aircraft, but yeah, maybe next time. And then I'll move with the infantry 1, 2, so I can conquer the fort next time. Then I'll move these guys, so starting with the armored car, that would be 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5. No, maybe not. So maybe I'll move down here. 1/2, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, and I'll attack this guy. And then this one moves 1/2, 1, 1.5 here to conquer the fort. All right, that was my movement phase. Now come my attack phase. So I'll start with the field gun attacking the tank. It hits, my field gun hits with 3 and less, so that's 1. Oh no. Yeah, 2 actually. 2. So 2 on a tank would give him 1 damage and 1 experience for me. So 1 damage to the tank and 1 experience for me. And then my tank, unfortunately that's the female, would attack the tank. So I'll chuck my dice again for the tank, for my tank. It hits with a 4 and less, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nice. 7 would give him 3 damage. I'll do that right away. So let's keep those guys here for a second, because they the tank shoots back, and the tank shoots back. It has 0 to 2 damage, so it would hit with its attack value. That would be 6 for a tank. Dealing 6 damage to my tank would give me 2 damage as well. So first I get my experience and he would get 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. And then he would get 1 experience as well. And I would get my 2 damage. Alright, that was the first round. Oh, actually no, I forgot this attack here. So let's do that real quick. My armored car attacks the mounted infantry, and the mounted infantry attacks back. Since it's a close combat, armored car hits at 4 and less. 1, 2, 3 hits. 3 hits on the mounted infantry is 2 damage. And then the mounted infantry hits back. It doesn't have a damage yet, so it will deal its attack value, which is 2. And 2 hits at an armored car gives them 1 damage. So let's add the damages and experiences. The mounted infantry would get 2 damage. I would get 1 experience for my attack. And then I get 1 damage and adding 1 damage here. And the mounted infantry gets 1 experience. Alright, so now my turn is over and it's the automa's turn. The automa can move all their units now. They would start with foot soldiers, in the sequence infantry, mounted infantry, heavy infantry and others. So let's see, where is an infantry? That would be 1, and it had the first priority would be to conquer a fort, which they can do. They've conquered the fort and get a token for that. Then the mounted infantry that's here can conquer a fort as well. That was easy and would get a token. And then the heavy infantry, there is 1 here. It can enter, cannot enter a fort because this guy actually entered it already. Then second movement priority would be move to hex adjacent to a neutral or enemy fort. Let's see if it can reach 1. No, they are all too far away. Then move towards a neutral or enemy fort that it can reach within 2 turns. That would be probably 1.5, 2, 1, 2. So I'll count the 2 turns. So that would be 1.5 in the forest, 2. That would be the first turn, and the second one would be 1.5, 1, 1.5, 2. So it cannot reach another fort within 2 turns either. So let's move forward, move towards or attack an enemy unit you can destroy. Doesn't look like there is one in range. Move towards or attack an enemy unit that cannot fire back. No, there is no unit here. Move towards closest neutral enemy fort entrance. Alright, so the closest one is that above here, which would be, and then I'll move closest to that. So there will be 1.5 out of the forest, or up here 1.5, 1.5, and then 1/2. I would move here, marching to the forest. Next one is all other foot soldiers. That would be this guy. He can conquer a fort, which would be that one. Okay, they have already 3 forts captured. That's all foot soldiers. So next one would be close combat units, and they start with an aircraft. Aircraft would be here. It would try to destroy a unit they can in this combat. Let's see, maybe this infantry. So an aircraft would deal 2 hits that would just give them 1 damage. It would not destroy it, so cannot destroy it. So next priority, an enemy that cannot shoot back. There are several of those. For example, this one here, actually a lot of them. So I move down to narrow it down. It would be the enemy unit that's furthest away from the enemy aircraft. So here's the enemy aircraft. So furthest away would be one of those guys here. And then I'll go with for the unit with the lowest attack value. That would be the transport. So I'll move down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in the movement priorities, I'll move furthest away from the enemy aircraft. So I would actually move all the way down here and attack the transport truck. I would deal 2 damage. So that's for transport truck, 2 damage, give them 2 hits would give them 1 damage. So 1 experience for my aircraft and 1 damage for the transport truck. The next one would be the tanks. That's this guy here, and it would try to destroy an enemy unit. There is no damaged one it could destroy. Then an enemy that cannot shoot back, that one here. So that's my target. And then depending on where I move, my priority would be into a forest. I have 2 options, this one or this one. Which one do I pick closest to your next unit? So this forest would be closest to my next unit, which is that one. That one would be a little bit further away. So it will move here and attack the anti-aircraft. The tank deals 6 hits in the value, as you can see, and an anti-aircraft with 6 hits would get 3 damage. So I'll get 1 experience for my tank and 3 damage for the anti-aircraft. 1 experience for my tank and then three damage for the anti-aircraft. All right, then that was the tank. Then the armored car, that would be here. It would choose a unit it can destroy. Maybe that's this guy. Let's see. Armored car deals 4 damage. 4 damage would deal... armored car deals 4 hits. That would cause the anti-aircraft 2 damage. It would still survive. So it cannot destroy it, so it would not attempt. Next one is enemy unit that cannot shoot back. Let's see, that's this guy here. That's pretty much the only one it can reach, so that's my target. And then it would move 1/2, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. It would try to move into a forest now, but it doesn't have enough movement points, so it just stops here. All right, so then the attack would be, it would deal 4 hits. 4 hits is 2 damage, as we just saw. So anti-aircraft gets 2 damage, almost destroyed. Armored car gets 1 experience point. All right, next one is the long range unit. So it starts with the field gun or howitzer, that would be that one. And it shoots at a unit it can destroy. Let's see, it hits 3 hits, would cause 2 damage. That's just enough to destroy this guy, so it would shoot at this guy and not move. Yeah, so dealing 3 hits, causing 2 damage at the heavy infantry, which kills this unit. And the howitzer now gets 2 experience points because it actually has killed a unit. And as we know, the 3rd experience point is already a yellow one, or the next color, so with the next time it can hit actually with, it can deal 5 hits. Next one is the heavy mortar, that would be that one. It would choose a unit it can destroy. There are no more units here it can destroy because that one is already removed. That one could be destroyed. Let's see if he can reach that. Heavy mortar can move one, so it can move here, and it wouldn't reach that guy, so it cannot. Let's see, next priority, a foot soldier adjacent to a fort. That would be only up here. They cannot reach those either. And then a unit that has already been attacked by other units. That would be that one, because that one was already attacked by the plane. That it can reach that one, so it would move towards it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it can actually move further away, which it would attempt. But this, yeah, and 1.5, 1. So it would move furthest away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it would shoot at the transport, dealing 3 hits, which would cause the transport truck 2 damage, giving the transport truck 2 more damage and the howitzer 1 experience point. Let me check if I have moved everything. No, actually, I've forgotten the anti-aircraft. That would have come before the heavy mortar. Apologies. So I should have moved this one actually first. I forgot that one. That would move to its it can destroy foot soldier. That all doesn't work. So it would actually try to attack the airplane, which it can. That would be 1.5 movement points, 2, 2.5, 3, and then it would, with a 3 range, it would attack the airplane. The anti-aircraft has 4 hits, and that would cause my aircraft 2 damage. And the anti-aircraft would get 1 experience point. All right, let me check if I've forgotten anything. I think I'm good. So that was the automa's turn. And now the human player. It's the human player's turn again. Okay. Oh, actually, I've forgotten the purchase from the automa player. They have 3 forts, so they would get 3 coins. And the automa would purchase mounted infantry, which is that one, and it is placed in the fort with the closest enemy unit that is not that doesn't have a foot soldier in front of the entrance. Otherwise, it would be captured quite soon. So that is that one, because this one is further away. So it would automa would purchase that unit. All right, now it's the human player's turn. It's my turn. Doesn't look good for me. Let's get started. So I would conquer that fort, that one, and then I have to want to destroy this tank actually, and of course reduce enemy infantry. So how do I do that? So first of all, I would load the heavy mortar into the truck, then move the truck 1/2, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 3.5 is enough, and drop the heavy mortar. And the heavy mortar would attack the tank here. Then I would move my tank towards the this well experienced howitzer, and then move the plane around so I get a better attack position, and I'll use that one as well. 1/2, 1.5, 2, 3. So making sure this howitzer is eliminated. I'll try to reach the aircraft here, which is hard because I've already have enemy contact here. But I would move 1/2 here, 2 first enemy contact, 2.5 second enemy contact. So turn stops here. Then my tank moves 1.5, first enemy contact. One turn is over because it has enemy contact again. And then this one moves here. All right, that's pretty much my turns as the human player. I would attack with all of the three, first the plane, then the tank, and then the armored car. That one here, no, other way. This one first, then this would attack this howitzer. Then here I would attack, use the howitzer to attack the tank, then attack with that tank, and this field gun is probably not needed here anymore, so I would shoot at the heavy infantry. All right, that's my turns. So let's get started. This one can't fire back, so that's great, and it's a surround attack, so I get 3 red dice, starting with the airplane. Fighter aircraft hits at 2, unless 1, 2, well, 2 hits would give them 1 damage and 1 experience for me. Oh, it actually had, sorry, I have to roll that again. It actually had 2 damage, I missed that. So with 2 damage, I'll actually, let me get this dice chart real quick. Let me put that here. So with 2 damage, I can actually only roll 10 dice. So taking 2 away, let me quickly repeat that. 1, 2, yeah, same result. Same result as before. So 1 damage, 1 experience. All right. Then I said kind of the armored car that has 1 damage. So I can roll 11 dice. And it hits with 4 and less. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. 5 is actually 3 damage and 1 experience for me. And now the tank doesn't have any damage yet. That will be a feast. Tank hit with 6 and less, so that's, oh no, 1, 2, 3. Ah, gosh, only 3 hits, but that should be right enough to kill it. This is destroyed, and the tank gets 2 experience. This was a howitzer, so howitzers don't shoot back because they have range 3 to 4, as a reminder. All right, next one. So I attacked with a heavy mortar this tank. It doesn't have any experience, but it's not a surround attack anymore, so removing the red dice, checking the dice, and it needs 3 here, 3 and less to hit, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Nice. 4 hits on the Austrian tank would be still only 1 damage. And it's in a forest. Okay, so yeah, 2 hits would have taken 7, which is almost impossible. So yeah, 1 damage for the tank and 1 for experience for the howitzer. Next one is my tank against that one, and that has is actually a surround attack because the field gun is next to it, and the field gun can actually attack in close combat. So I get 2 dice, but my tank already has 2 damage, so I can only chuck 10 dice. That is my female mark, 1 female, so only hits at 4 and less, which would be 1. Oh, screw this. It's only one, so it wouldn't cause, it would even, oh damn it, it would not even cause 1 damage. No matter how often I count. Well, okay. That would have been nice, because 1 damage would have destroyed the tank. Yes, no damage dealt. The tank shoots back. It has, according to the rules, it has 3 to 5 damage points, so it would hit back with half of its attack value. The attack value of the tank is 6, so it would deal 3 hits to my tank, which would give my tank 1 damage. And now it gets actually a yellow experience point, which is even more painful. Unfortunately, I've said that I attack the heavy infantry with my field gun, so I cannot change my attack target anymore. I should have played it safe and hit the tank. But anyways, so it doesn't have any damage yet, so all 12 dice. And hits with a 3 and less, which is nothing. That is such bad luck. Okay. Well, it is what it is. And that's all my attacks. And then my turn is done. But I have 2 forts, so I get 2. I don't purchase anything for now. Turn is over, and it's the Automa's turn now. The Automa would move the foot soldiers first, starting with their infantry. That would be that one. It cannot conquer a fort, and it cannot reach a fort either. So it would move to a fort it can reach within the next 2 turns. That would be that one. So it moves 1/2, 2, and then it can reach the fort entrance in the next turn. So it would move here. Then the next one, according to the priorities, would be the mounted infantry. That one, it cannot reach an enemy fort, nor can it reach a fort within 2 rounds. So it would follow the attack priorities and would try to attack a unit it can destroy. There is none in reach. It could destroy that one, but it wouldn't reach that one. Probably won't, no. So then it would attack an enemy unit that cannot fire back. That would be the heavy mortar, because it cannot fire back on short range. The heavy infantry doesn't have damage, so it would deal 4 hits, and 4 hits on a heavy mortar would cause 2 damage and 1 experience for the heavy infantry. Giving the mortar 2 damage, and the heavy infantry 1 experience point. Next one would be the mounted infantry. That one would approach a fort. It can occupy a fort entrance, so it would exit here, 1/2, 1, 1.5, and then it can go to multiple hexes. It would choose the one that is furthest away from the next enemy. Next enemy would probably be that one, so it would move here and threaten the fort. Next cavalry and mounted infantry would do exactly the same and would move furthest away, 1/2, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. So it would move up here because that is further away from that unit. And then all other infantry, all other foot soldiers, that would be these anti-tank gunners. They cannot reach a fort, also not in the next 2 turns. So then it would follow the attack priorities. There is no unit it can destroy, so it would attack one that cannot fire back. And that would be, since it can shoot over 2 hexes, it would be that one, and it would attack the armored car. It cannot fire back since it attacks over range. These are the foot soldiers. This one attacks right away. It only has 1 damage, so it deals hits according to its attack value, which is 4. Note that the special ability to attack with a 6 and less only applies to tanks, not to armored cars. So it would deal 4 hits to the armored car, and 4 hits to an armored car would just cause 1 damage. So that's 1 damage for the armored car and 1 experience for the anti-tank gunners. Next up would be the close combat units. The sequence is the aircraft first. The aircraft would try to find a unit it can destroy in this attack. It would not be able to destroy the troop transport truck, but the enemy aircraft, anti-aircraft. So that's where it would move. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it would attack the anti-aircraft. It would deal 2 damage to a ground unit, and that would be enough to give 2 hits to the ground unit. That would be enough to give 1 damage to the anti-aircraft, which would destroy it. But the anti-aircraft fires back. It already has 5 damage, so it only can roll 5 dice. Anti-aircraft hits with 4 and less, so that's 1 hit to the plane, which would give it 1 damage, and the anti-aircraft was destroyed. And since it was destroyed, the fighter aircraft gets 2 experience points, which means it has reached the next level. It has a yellow experience now, so that will become a real threat soon. Next up would be the tank, and the tank would again try to destroy a unit, and there is actually one it can destroy, which is the troop transport truck down here. No, it actually cannot destroy it, because that would require 5 hits, and it will only land 4 hits. Then it will attack a unit that cannot fire back, and those would be those 2 ones, and then of those it would pick the one with the lowest attack value, so that would be that one. So it would move down here to attack the troop transport truck. That would be 1/2, 1, 1.5, 2.5, and 3, and it would attack that one. It already has 5 damage points, so it would only attack with half of its attack value rounded up. Since it has yellow experience already, a veteran, that would mean 4 hits to the troop transport truck, and 4 hits at the troop transport truck would give it 2 damage. So just enough to survive. And the tank would get an experience point for a successful attack. And 2 damage for the transport truck. Next up would be the armored car. First priority is a unit can destroy. That would be that troop transport truck. So it would move here, 1/2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And would attack the troop transport truck. It would deal 4 hits, which is enough to destroy that one. So this is gone. And since it destroyed a unit, the armored car would get 2 experience points. Meaning it would also reach the yellow experience level as a veteran. Next troops to attack are the long range units. So it would start with the field gun or howitzer, I don't have that. And then the anti-aircraft, that would be here. There is no anti-aircraft left, so it wouldn't do pretty much nothing. And then the heavy mortar would choose an enemy it can destroy that turn. There is none. A foot soldier adjacent to a field, there's also none. A unit that has been attacked by other units, that would be that one or that one. And out of that, it would pick the most expensive enemy unit. So let's just check. The armored car costs 4. Heavy mortar costs 4 as well, so that doesn't matter. And then it would, out of the two, it would pick the most experienced one. They have the same experience as well. So it would just pick the closest one, which would be that one. It would move into attack range, so that would be 1 hex. Again, it would move away furthest from enemies. That would be 1, 2, and it would attack the armored car, dealing 3 hits, which would give the armored car 1 damage, and the heavy mortar 1 experience. I think that's it. Let me just check if all units have moved. Yes. Then it would collect, Automa would collect money. That's 3 occupied 4s, which would give it 3 coins. And since we are playing with a limit of only 2 allowed units per unit type, it already has 2 mounted infantry, so it cannot purchase another one. So it would save money to buy an armored car next, following the rules here. That's it. Next up would be the human player's turn. So, it doesn't look too good for me now. Let's see. All right. Let's see what I can do. So first of all, I use that foot soldier and I exit the fort here, 1, 2, because then it can reach this fort up here next turn. This is fine. This guy exits the fort here, which would be 1/2. First enemy contact. 2 second enemy contact, and would attack that mounted infantry. My tank would move up 1/2, 1.5, 2, 2.5 up here, and the armored car 3, and they would both attack the mortar. Then that tank would move 1/2, 1.5, 2.5 to block this infantry from coming up here, and it would add I would add that one as well, and they were both attacking this one. Then, yeah, to be on the safe side, I just noticed this one goes on that pole. Then, yeah, to be on the safe side, I'll just attack that one with a plane as well. Then I have a surround attack, which gives me more points. And then the mortar would attack the tank, hopefully destroying it. Yeah, and now I need a little bit of dice luck to turn this situation around. So let's hope that I don't have bad luck. All right, let's start with that one. So my mounted infantry will attack that one, so that is 1, 2, 2, that would give it 1 damage, and I would receive 1 damage as well. So both units get 1 damage and 1 experience point. Next up is this battle. The plane starts, starting with plane armored car tank. So the plane would start, it already has 2 damage, so it would roll 10 dice and 3 red dice for the surround attack. So let's count, that's 1, 2. 2 hits would give the plane 1 experience, and the heavy mortar 1 damage. Then the armored car, it has 3 damage, so it may only roll 8 dice. So let's count, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's okay. That gives the mortar 2 damage, and the armored car 1 well-deserved experience point. And now the tank, I hope this tank crushes it. So all 12 dice and 3 red ones. And tank hits with 6 and lower. So let's count, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is just 2 damage. So unfortunately the heavy mortar survives. But I've got a pretty neat tank here. It has veteran experience and is not damaged yet, so that's nice. Alright, then this is an important fight as well. Heavy mortar with 10 attacks the tank. I need to hit at least 2 to kill it. That's 1, 2, yes, nice. And the tank is gone, and the mortar would get 2 experience points. Next one, these ones, the artillery attacks first. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 gives, it's in a forest, so 4 would give it 2 damage and 1 experience point for me. And now the tank, it already has 3 damage, so only 8 dice, and it is the female tank that just attacks with a 4 and less. So probably won't kill it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that would only cause 1 damage because the infantry is in a forest. Otherwise, on a meadow, it would have caused 2 damage. Yeah, that's it. Then I collect my 2 coins. And now I have 4. And now it's really hard to choose what I would go for. Would I go for a mounted infantry? or maybe even for anti-aircraft gun to take down the enemy plane. Or I go for I probably go for a heavy infantry that costs 3 and it can conquer forts and it can fight enemy aircraft. So I'll put that here. Pretty much the only chance, because that one is threatened by the 2 mounted infantry. All right, that was my turn. Next up is the automa's turn. So for the automa, the foot soldiers would start. That infantry would move to a fort. It can reach within 2 hexes, so that would be 1.5, 2. So it would try to conquer that one. Then this mounted infantry would conquer that fort. That one would try to move to the next closest fort. It would not go to that one because there's already an own infantry. So 1.5, 2, 3. So it would go up here. Oh, wait a second. That was enemy contact, I think. So yeah, first enemy contact, second enemy contact. So it would have to stop here. Then mounted infantry would not go up here because there is already one and it cannot reach another one. So it would engage in an attack. There is no unit it can kill, so the one that cannot fire back. Yeah, and that would be that one. So it would deal 3 hits and that would cause 1 damage. Then here's one more. It would try to attack an enemy unit that cannot fire back. Would attack the armored car with dealing 4 hits, which would give it 2 damage. And 1 experience for the tank gunners. Then that one would move, try to attack that one. It has multiple options where it can do so. So it would move to a forest. So it would move 1, 2, and attack that one, dealing 6 hits actually, and 6 hits is 3 damage on the heavy mortar, which would kill it and give the armored car 2 experience, and the armored car has now reached war hero level experience. Next up is I have no more close combat units. Right, so I forgot to move the aircraft. The aircraft should have moved first, actually. Yeah, never mind, I'll move that now. It cannot destroy a unit, it would attack the unit with the lowest attack value, which would be that one or that one. And then from the movement priorities, it will try to move to a hex with a forest. So the only one would be here to fulfill the attack priority. So it would fly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and attack that one. It has veteran experience, 4 hits, which would cause 2 damage on my infantry. And 1 additional experience for the aircraft. All right, long range units, that would be that heavy mortar. It would try to attack a unit it can destroy, which would be that one. So, and it will try to move furthest away. So there will be 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it would attack that one, and it deals enough damage to destroy it and would get 2 experience points, reaching war hero status as well. All right. That's about it. Let me check if I've forgotten any unit. No. Then Automa would collect money, that is 4 coins. And it would try to purchase a mounted infantry. It already has 2. Then it would proceed to an armored car, only has 1. So it would purchase an armored car. That armored car costs 4. So it would place it in a non-threatened fort with the most enemy units around. Closest, that would be that one. So I would place it here. Now it has still money left, so it would try to purchase an additional unit. Because mounted infantry is already out, armored car is also already out, it would purchase a random unit that costs 3 or less, and that would be transport truck, anti-aircraft, mounted regular infantry, heavy infantry, or anti-tank gunners. I'll just roll a dice for randomness, so I'll assign the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if otherwise I'll roll again. Four. So it would purchase 1, 2, 3, 4. It would purchase a heavy infantry, which costs 3. And place it into the fort as well. All right, so next is the human player's turn. All right, that's a difficult situation. So I would move 1, 2, 3, 4 here to threaten the fort. Then I have to kill this one. So I'll move here and the tank here, so I can have a surround attack to kill it. And use the that one to help, because that one has to go. And then I'll try to conquer that fort again. So go here, and that one goes 1, 1.5. Oh, sorry. 1, 1.5, 2, 3. It doesn't reach that one. That would have been nice. So what do we do with this guy? Oh, by the way, I've forgotten that the Automa would have attacked the plane with the anti-aircraft, which would have given that one 4 hits, which is 2 additional damage. And the anti-aircraft one. So Automa has forgotten that. So, okay, so I'll use the aircraft to fly down here to try to kill that one. And then the tank needs to do something meaningful. Yeah, just move up here, 1.5, 2. So that's 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. So it would just move up here. Yeah, so then I would attack. That is important. 8 dice, a 2 and 1, 2. Yes, that's enough. So that would kill this one and give my plane 2 experience points. Then these ones, I'll start with the field gun. 1, just 1. And 1 experience for me. Then the infantry. That's a surround attack. One, 2. Yeah. 1 additional damage, and the infantry would hit back with 1, which would give mine 1 damage as well. So this one gets 1 damage and 1 experience, and I do as well. Okay, now my tank finishes it off. It has 3 damage, so 10 dice only. Oh, 8 dice only. And would hit, yes, kill it. It would receive 1 damage, but that doesn't hurt the tank. So I wouldn't get any damage, but I would get 2 experience points, which would be both yellow. Just grabbing those real quick from the bag. Okay. And then, yeah, that's it for my turn. I would collect 1 coin. That's really not a lot. So I have 2, I would purchase a regular infantry then. And I don't have much of a choice but to put it here and return the 2 coins to the bank. Alright, Automa's turn next. Okay, Automa's turn. No infantry, so it would start with the cavalry. This one would try to conquer the fort first away from the enemy unit, would go here. That one would move to an adjacent, would also try to move to the next fort it can reach within 2 turns, so that would be up here. Would hence go there. This one would try to move to the next enemy fort. It can reach here, that one as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, stays here. This one would attack this one, dealing 4 hits, which would give 2 damage to the mounted infantry. And 1 experience to the anti-tank gunners. Then close combat units would attack with the unit with the lowest attack value. That would be that one. Can it move to a forest? No, so it would stay here. Attack that one. Would deal 8 hits, which would give 4 damage. And this one cannot get more experience, and then this guy would do the same, and it would deal another 4 hits, which would give it another 2 damage, which would destroy that one and give the armored car 2 experience points. Then the anti-aircraft would move one in front here, would attack the aircraft, dealing 4 hits, and 4 hits is 2 damage, killing the aircraft. What a slaughter feast here. And then long range units, none left. That's it, I think. Let me check the units. Yes, all units moved and attacked. Then Automa collects 4 coins, making a purchase. It already has 2 mounted infantry, 2 armored cars, so it would make a random choice, costing 4 or less. So I'm doing rolling a dice again to make a random choice. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, it already has 2 armored cars. 1, 2, 3. It would purchase a regular infantry for 2, and then because it has only 2 left, it would purchase another mounted infantry, because that's actually could be a troop transport truck. So rolling the dice, 6 and lower would be that one, 7 and greater would be another infantry. Okay, so it would purchase a troop transport truck and a mounted infantry. Sorry, regular infantry, I mean. And it would put it where most enemy units are, and that is not threatened. So this is threatened by my unit. So it would be this one. Okay, that's my turn then, human player. As you see, I've pretty much already lost. What do I do? I move 1, attack that one, move up here, attack that one, threaten the fort entrance, occupy the fort. Move that one out here so I can defend that later on. If I occupy that, then he would immediately occupy it as well, so that doesn't really make sense. And attacking doesn't make sense either, because then I'm not threatening the fort entrance anymore, unless I can kill it right away, which doesn't look likely. Yeah. Okay. My attacks, that would be those ones. I'll start with that one, then that one, then that one. Heavy infantry, 1, 2, 3, 4, would give it 2 damage. And 1 experience for me. Then I think I said this one here, that would, oh yeah, and this one gets an experience as well, and since it shoots back, it gives me 1 damage. And the tank, one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is nice. 8 kills it actually. Yes. It fires back, so it gives the tank 1 damage, but the tank is fully experienced. And this tank doesn't attack anymore because the enemy unit is already killed. Unfortunately, that's my turn already, so I'm getting 2 coins. I already have 2 infantry, so yeah, I'm just saving those because I kind of make a reasonable purchase. I already have 2 regular infantry. Yeah, that's it. So Automa's turn next. Automa moves the infantry. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's further away from the enemy. Then it would try to conquer fort, but this enemy unit is on the entrance, so it would just move here and attack it. Then dealing it 2 damage and add 2 hits and receiving hits as well, so both would get 1 damage and 1 experience point. A yellow one for the mounted infantry. Then these 2 guys will threaten the fort entrance, and this one will move to a fort entrance as well and attack a target that cannot fire back. That's the 2 tanks, and the weaker one will be the first priority, so that will be that one. And it will, since it's an anti-tank gun, it will deal 8 hits, which will cause 3 damage to the tank, which will kill it. And we have another war hero here. Then these guys will attack the weakest unit, which will be up there, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. So this one will attack that one, dealing 4 hits, meaning 2 damage. And 1 experience for the armored car, but the infantry can fight back. And would deal 1 damage to the armored car and would get 1 experience. Then the next armored car would try to attack. It does not have an eligible target, so it will just move towards the next best target. That's 1/2, 2, 2.5, 3. So it would move up to that target. The anti-aircraft wouldn't move. This guy. Oh, sorry, I totally forgot that. So the Automa is not allowed to purchase transport trucks. So giving it the coin back. And then the aircraft would a unit it can destroy this attack. Probably not. One that cannot fire back. That's pretty much everyone. And then the one with the lowest attack value and then the most experience. There will be those ones equally. There is no forest. Okay, so those would be equal targets. So I'm making a random choice. This one is 1 to 6, and the bottom one 7 to 12. Okay, so it would attack this one and giving it 4 hits, which translates to 2 damage. And we have another war hero. Then Automa would collect 3 coins. And make a purchase. I'm again numbering it. That's 1, 2, 3. No, it doesn't have. It already has 2 heavy infantry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1. It would purchase an anti-aircraft, which is kind of stupid, but that's the rules. You can play that if Automa makes an obviously stupid choice, then that you restrict it, but I'm not doing it this way now. Okay, human player's turn. I would move out here, but still threaten the entrance. Yeah, it's pretty much done. So this is the point where I would give up, because I mean these 2 guys can conquer this fort. This player can conquer this fort. These can conquer this fort. I have no chance of destroying it. So the Automa will, no matter what I do now, the Automa will conquer these forts, and then they have 5 forts, 3, probably even 6, and I'm lost the game. I've lost against the Automa. To my defense, I have to say I tried to play quickly and I didn't think a lot about my turns. Should have done that. I'm a little bit depressed. I lost against the Automa in easy level setting even. Yeah, have to try harder next time. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough and have as much fun with the game as I have.